Spastic diplegia is one of the most common forms of cerebral palsy. This particular brain damage inhibits the proper development of the upper motor neuron function. This means that the nerve receptors in the spine leading to the affected muscles, in this case the lower ones, are unable to properly absorb gamma-aminobutyric acid. This amino acid is what regulates the muscle tone in humans. Now, the problem is, if the nerve rootlets can't absorb this amino acid, then the affected nerves continuously fire erroneously messages to their corresponding muscles to permanently, rigidly contract. This constant spasticity ultimately produces pain, the breakdown of muscles and joints, causing arthritis and tendinitis, and eventually, over the years, leads to the progressive worsening of bone structure deformities. The standard treatment for cerebral palsy is physical therapy. This is done to prevent the spastic muscles from becoming contracted and helps to strengthen the muscles, which would obviously otherwise become weak from disuse. Here, a study has been done to evaluate the effects of pattern sensory enhancement music on the muscle power and movement control in children with spastic diplegia during loaded sit-to-stand movements. 23 children aged between 5 to 12 years old were recruited and divided into two groups, one being a music therapy group and the other a control group. The music therapist composed individualized pattern sensory enhancement music for each child of the music therapy group to use in their sit-to-stand movements. All of the children wore 46 infrared retroreflective markers optimally placed to track their motion. It was organised for the children to continuously perform these movements for 8 repetitions. Those in the music group did this to their own music for 5 of the repetitions, leaving the other 3 repetitions to be done without music. Now, these last 3 repetitions were categorised as a continuation condition and were also to be analysed as part of the study. While the children were doing the exercises, kinematic and kinetic data were measured. This is the study that describes the motion of the bodies either with or without the circumstances of external forces being taken into account. Paired T or Wilcoxon signed rank tests were used to compare the variables between the music therapist's 5 repetitions and the control group, and then between their last 3 repetitions that they did without music with the control group. What the researchers found was that the music group had improved and scored greater peak knee extensor power, greater total extensor power, and improved centre of mass smoothness compared to the control group. This they also saw when comparing the continuous condition to the control group. This study has demonstrated that loaded sit-to-stand exercises are improved when being done with pattern sensory enhancement music, something that the authors of the research point out may well serve as an effective alternative to other music being used in these children's therapy in a home exercise setting.